Assalamu alaikum, this is video 5, okay? So you got to claim your dominion, okay? You got to claim your dominion because you are free. But I claimed it for you so that they can't claim it, okay? Because now once somebody else claims it, they own it. But I give it to Allah. I don't keep it. I give it to Allah. And they can't claim something from Allah, okay? I give it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay? Whereby no one can claim it. Okay, but you can claim it because it's yours. So now you can, claim dominion over your own soul and not give it to nobody. Okay, it belongs to Allah. Your soul belongs to your Creator, your divine Creator. And as I said, Allah is the deity of Prophet A, all the way of all the prophets, starting from Adam all the way down to Prophet Muhammad and to the prophet that's going to return, the one, the virgin that's going to return. Okay, so you better claim dominion of your own soul. Okay, as I, mashallah, claim dominion over mine, and I'm out of their caste. Once you're out of their caste, you can see the light, right? You can see life. You're born again because you're no longer in a caste. Your soul is no longer buried. Okay, that caste does not represent you. Okay, that birth certificate, that's not me. That did not represent me. That was a caste I was in. Okay, that was a caste. So no longer will I use that caste, and no longer will that caste places you in their jurisdiction. That means they have dominion over you. They have power and control over you. They can do to you what they want. They can, if they have a caste, they can take it and throw it in the trash. They can burn it. It belongs to them. It's their property, right? You are their property. Their caste recognizes you as their property, just like the coffin. It's a sarcophagus. Your name in all caps is your sarcophagus. Okay, that's what it is. It's a sarcophagus. It's a caste. It casts you away from Allah. It casts you away from your Creator, and you were buried. Your soul was buried. And therefore you cannot. Your soul was buried, so it doesn't have free will anymore. Okay, your free will was buried when you took on the caste. When you got inside the caste, it's the same as they did to Osiris, right? The story of Osiris and Set, right? When Set was cut off, the sun was cut off by Satan, right? Because it said before, the sun and Saturn were the sun. The sun took over for Saturn, right? Saturn used to be the sun, so Saturn was cut off, right, by the sun, or the sun was cut off by Saturn. Okay, yeah, the sun was cut off by Saturn, right? So, and well, Osiris was cut off by his brother Set, right? Okay, so if he was cut off by Set, he was cut off by Set because he built a coffin, right? The story goes he built a coffin, and he said his brother tried on the coffin, beautiful golden coffin, right? He said he got in the coffin and he locked the coffin. Okay, then he cast him into the river, right? Okay, so we're going to get to that story too. But he cast him into the river, okay? And so, okay, so that's basically what happened to you. He cast him in the Holy See, right? Okay, so, and then he took over it. He reigned over the celestial sphere. He reigned as God, right? Because first his brother was God, right? He had his own free will, right? Now in the casket, he had no free will, right? Because who can move in a casket, right? So so it was basically a sarcophagus. Who could fit in the sarcophagus? Because in Egypt it wasn't caskets; it were sarcophagus, right? Okay. So now when you take on the birth certificate, you're getting inside the sarcophagus, just like Osiris got inside the sarcophagus of Set, and then Set locked him in, cast him in the water, right? So that's the same thing they're doing to you. They're reenacting that story. They're cutting you off, right? No, they're putting you in a sarcophagus by accepting that name, right? Casting you out into the Red Sea. Right? They're casting you into the Red Sea because now you're in the caste system. You're in the casket. You're in the casket. You're in the sarcophagus, and you're in the bank used as collateral, wood, right? And your spirit is buried in the casket because you have no free will. So when you come out of Babylon, that is coming out of the casket, right? And coming out of the casket, and now once you're out of the casket, you can breathe, you can see, you can feel. You can think, okay, because you're out of bondage, right? Out of the casket. You're out of the caste system, the casket system. You're out of the sarcophagus. You come out of the Holy Red Sea. You've been born again, okay? Okay. So, okay, so now, so what did we say? Okay, so they want to resurrect the blue blood brother fucking system, put the FID, recast you, put you back in the casket, because right now you're free to get out the casket. But if you just want to lay up in that damn casket, okay, if you just want to lay up in that fucking casket, okay, and wait for the beast to come and think he gonna resurrect you, no, he gonna slave your ass, re-enslave your ass, because you laying up in there waiting to be enslaved. So if you don't open up the casket, you get your ass out, be born, get out the Red Sea, be born, and act in your, use your human potential, to your supernatural human potential to act, be divine. That's up to you. If you want to just lay in the casket, up in the Red Sea, in the womb, in the sarcophagus, okay, in the casket, I'm doing whatever they tell you, being controlled by them, because that's what caskets, they can move it here, move it there, move it there, move it anywhere. They can burn it, because your soul is buried, and your soul is buried in it, and you can't do a damn thing, because you refuse to get out. Get the fuck free, get the fuck up out the casket, be born, come up out the casket, open it up and come out. They no longer have power over you, okay? You can't lay there scared, shaking, petrified. What's going to happen if you come out the casket? What's going to happen is you're going to be you. You're going to see the beauty of you. You're going to see the divinity of you. You're going to see the greatness of you. Sound's going to be different. Smell's going to be different, because you're going to be alive. You're going to be able to breathe. Okay? That's what it would be like being out of the casket. Okay? Okay. Okay, so but they want to resurface. They want Vatican III so they can continue to usurp your life within the casket, as Set did his brother, right? As Set did Osiris, right? And taking over the kingdom, right? And becoming the god of the kingdom, right? Okay, so when one pagan god, as we said, when one god refuses to step down, when one titan refuses to step down, there's war. Okay, there's war. In heaven, right? There's war, right? There's war in the celestial spheres, okay? Because they got to collide. Two things can't occupy the same space, right? That's it's a physical law, right? Two things cannot occupy the same space. So there will be war. There will be a collision, right? Or one has to be buried in the sarcophagus, and that's what they're trying to do to woman, so that they can continue to represent woman, right? Cast her, right? Cast her away, bury her spirit, her soul, her free will, and recast her, right? As a prostitute, right? Okay, so when one god refuses to step down and recognize the dominion of another, or the space of another, or the time of another, there's chaos in the universe, and war, or the clash of the titans, or clash of the planets, because the planets represent the titans, is the result, okay? Okay, it is what's going on right now. Right now we're having clash. Well, we don't really have Clash of the Titans because humanity is not aware of what's going on. But when they wake up and realize that the Vatican is trying to hog this new time and space and place them in bondage again, then we may see a different total outcome. But right now they are trying to put the life in a controlled situation environment whereby when humanity does wake up, they'll still be in the sarcophagus, and they won't be a damn thing they can do about it, because now the sarcophagus, their soul, the cast has become part of their soul, right? Because of the chip, right? It's embedded inside them, okay? So the chip will be placed inside the coffin along with inside their soul, right? So even if they come outside the sarcophagus, now they can be let out the sarcophagus because it will be in their soul. It will be a part of them. They'll walk around with their caskets, right? Okay. Okay. And caskets will give birth to caskets, right? Because now one casket, a dead can only give birth to the dead. Okay, it can't give birth to nobody, but under their system, that's the way they see it, right? Okay, so there will be chaos when one refuses to step down, and that's why they're trying to control that right now with the chips and trying to get rid of Muslims and Christians and all who would not bow down to them, right? Okay, and so-called conspiracy theorists and things like that, right? Okay, so and all those who will not pay homage to the so-called all the pagan gods, right? The demigods, of Rome and Greece that are atop the Vatican Cathedral, right? All the plain, what is it? Oh, okay, so that's what they want to do. They want to resurrect themselves, okay? All the pagan gods, all the planetary gods that are represented as gods, right? And if you want to know who they when they met at the hall what was it? When Constantine formed his Catholic structure, the Catholic Church, the Vatican, well, really the Catholic Church to represent the Catholic Church, what represents the Catholic Church now, right? When he instituted that, he wanted to, the main thing was, what does this new God represent? What does he want? Who is he? And how does he fit into our world? Our world meaning the heavens, because he was they see themselves as God too, because they represent the gods, right? So how does he fit into their world? How does he fit into their heavenly celestial space? So they delegated God to the Christ, or the Jesus, or the one they call Jesus, to Neptune and Mercury, right? So Jesus is supposed to be Neptune and Mercury, right? Because he represents the water, or the fish, which is Pisces, and bread, right? Which is Mercury, or Virgo. Virgo represents the bread, and Pisces represents the fish. So, and Jesus was supposed to feed the humanity, or his congregation, multiple congregation, with fish and bread. So Jesus is to be represented by Neptune, his celestial sphere. When his rule comes into place, it will be seen as Neptune ruling for 2,000 years, or we just came out of we just came out of the masculine mercurial period, right? Okay, so because we're in Venus now, right? So time started again in Venus, so we had to have been under mercurial time too. So so he's represented by the bread and the fish, Pisces and Virgo, or Neptune and Mercury, right? Okay, Hermes, right? Okay, okay, or trough, under the Egyptian god, right? Okay, okay, so, okay. Okay, so we clash. Okay, so there's the way homage. Okay, and what do we say? Okay, so all planetary gods are represented, and I just told you what they represent. Jesus and said Jesus, because we talk about where Jesus came from and all that too. So you got to have the truth if you're gonna stand up against the beast. You can't run in there and talk about, I believe in Christianity. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian, and you holding up their book they wrote. Okay, they rescripted. You can't do that. It's not. That's why I said get yourself a Quran and use the Bible and the Quran and the Torah. You're gonna need all three of them. Alhamdulillah, I'm a Muslim. I can just use the Quran, and that's good enough. That's why they kill it. That's why they're trying to kill Muslims, because they know Muslims know the way back home. Muslims know where they come from. Muslims know that they come. Allah created them. Muslims know the truth about what Allah said that what Iblis would try. Muslims know the beginning and end of Iblis. Okay. And it's going to be the Muslims who destroy, with Prophet Isa, they destroy Iblis, the beast. And they know that. So that's why they're against Muslims. They wait until Muslims, they handle the Muslims, reclaim the Muslims out of the Holy Land, and then destroy the Christians, and then the Jews. So those who come first, there's an order of operations for them when it comes to destruction and mayhem, right? Okay, so that's why they want to get rid of the Muslims. So they get rid of the Quran, then you won't have nothing but the Bible, and the Bible will not stand up against the beast. The Bible alone will not stand up against the beast. It's not truth enough to stand up against the beast. It's not pure truth enough to stand up to the beast. You need a Quran. And don't be running around thinking, oh, if I get a Quran, oh, I'm scared to get a Quran. That's going to make me with ISIS. That's going to make me with those barbaric Muslims. No, get one and see. Don't believe what somebody else scared you, like 666 or the pentagram upside down or all that other shit. Get one and see. As I said, the King of Kings, Michael Joseph Jackson, became a Muslim. As gentle as he was, you think? As gentle as his nature is, and as I said, he's a martyr, so I don't say was. As gentle as he is, because Allah says they live, but we know it not. Okay, so he lives, I just don't know it. Where, how? Okay, my competence don't extend that that deep. And hopefully one day it will. But anyway, inshallah, hopefully it will. But the point is, he's a martyr. So the King of Kings, Michael Joseph Jackson, okay, he embraced Islam. And his nature was the most gentle of humanity in this world. Like I said, I posted a picture in a posting that stated, for 10 years, he saved the life of half the world from 1980 to 1990 by feeding them, preventing starvation for half the world. How many people you know have done that? How many? I dare to think not one. So, he became a Muslim. So, I'm not saying, oh, become a Muslim, although it would be advisable, but hey, you'll be a believer. That's what you need to be, because that's what a Muslim is, a believer in the oneness of Allah, the creator of humanity, the deity of Prophet Ibrahim. So, get yourself a Quran. Don't be scared of it, because they're scaring you. Okay, because they're scaring you with ISIS. The ISIS is there, created by the CIA and Mossad and Britain. Okay, and if you look at those beheading videos, when they use that teeny tiny knife to cut through those bones, and not one of those hits was screaming like, oh, in pain and all that, and no blood. How much of their bullshit you gonna believe? How much of their bullshit you gonna eat? Till your whole brain is contaminated? It's time to wake up. Realize reality, that you're not living it. You in the coffin, you in the sarcophagus, you buried alive. How in the hell you gonna see anything but the picture that's projected in front of you atop the sarcophagus? Okay, CNN, all those bullshit, Fox and all that shit, and Reuters, right? Okay, so they have those pagan. They have those pagan represented by pagan gods. Okay, and each has a reign of 2,000 years, as we said. As Venus represents the woman, she represents the woman. She represents the black hole. She represents the massive black hole, like a ficus does. A ficus. Right? It's a black hole. It's a binary star to our star, our male star, our masculine star. And when they align, okay, to become one, because the universe is aligned, they're going to align. Man and woman's going to align, okay? They're going to align, okay? And that's what they're trying to take over the world before. The beasts they are trying to get here before that happens. Okay, because when they're aligned, all that, those planets are aligning, right? I mean, the constellations are aligning, so what's going to happen? All that energy is going to be one. And so what the beast will try to do is will try to surf the energy with that spaceship, that extra energy, to propel him to the earth. Because the celestial sphere is one big map. Not only is it a clock, a timekeeper, but it's a map. Okay? It's a navigational system, just like they used to use it as a navigational system, you know, for the ships and things. Well, they use it in celestial sphere too. The angels and those jinns use it as a navigational too, how to get to this planet and how to get to other planets and things like that, how to navigate space. Okay? So they know I know what I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about because they do it. Okay? So that you just don't know because you've been buried. Okay, you underground, you in the sarcophagus, you ain't even underground, you in the coffin, okay, with the castaway and using a fictitious identification, right? Something to represent yourself that don't even look like you, act like you, talk like you, walk like you. You wonder why your personality, you can't think and you can't fall, you can't get no love, nothing is real because you're not real. You're not living reality. You're living the life inside of a coffin. You're buried. Why you can't really see, why you can't really understand, because you're buried. You got to come out of Babylon. You got to come out of the coffin. You got to awaken to the real world, and you can see, and you will be able to hear and understand, comprehend too, and think, and then your crown chakra can open. How can your crown chakra open if you're confined in a coffin? Huh? Not enough space for it to open. How can your reality expand if you're in a coffin? Huh? How much room, space does one get in a coffin? Okay? Okay. How much time, area, space do they get to move in? Okay? Okay. So, Okay, so we talked about the pagan gods and all that, okay. Oh, and how they want to represent the woman for the next 2,000 years. The brotherfuckers want to. Okay, so they want to extract the power of the woman, right? They want to represent her, okay? And as I said, no black. They have to come alive through the Ra. They have to come through Ra, right? I said come through Jacob's ladder, right? Come through Ra. To descend Jacob's ladder, they got to come through the woman, right? Onto the earth's plane, right? They got to have power. They got to come through the black woman, right? To give life to the nation, right? Because of the black woman, all things have to align, right? Even if it's fictitious, it has to align, right? So they have to come through the black woman, as all humanity came through the black woman. So who married to Baphomet? That black woman, right? So she gonna give birth to them, right? Okay. She wants to give. Her goal is to give. Her orientation is to. Her intention is to give birth to them, right? If she don't get out of that shit, but she need to get out of that shit is what she need to do. Okay. Okay. But she already gave Baphomet a child, right? Okay. 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 So. And the number for Baphomet is what? 666. What's the number for Saturn is 6. It represents 6. What is IV but 6? Okay. IV represents 6. In Roman numerals is 6. Okay. Saturn's number is 6. Okay. When was she born? Capricorn. That's ruled by Saturn, right? Okay. Okay. Saturn known as the black planet, right? Okay. Okay, so they got to come through the black woman. So okay, so her duty is to represent all black women, because all black women and women in general are supposed to be the feminists, liberate women, right? As that video showed, right? Liberating women. What was that? I forget what the name of that video was, but liberate all women, right? Right? So all women are to follow her, so they represent her, so she can give their power away, because she represents them, right? Okay, because they're following her, right? As they were all doing their little thing. She said, build a new nation, and she wore the hooves, right? With the hyena, you know the hyena where it has a male and female genital, right? Okay. 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 So, is that she's supposed to give life to the beast? Her life, to the life of the woman to the beast, okay? Because women are following her, supposed to be following her, because they were standing behind her, doing a little dance, cooking and bringing home the bacon and frying it up too, right? And then give good love, whatever, right? Okay, okay. So, and then she takes the medal from the man, right? Okay, okay. So, and that was to take the power from the woman, to be the biggest feminist, and everybody follow her, right? I don't follow her. I don't need to follow her. Alhamdulillah, I'm a queen of the queens, okay? I'm a queen of the queens. Allah gives me my divine inspiration. Okay, I don't need to follow nobody. Okay, the legacy I follow, because that's the king of the king, and so I follow the order. MashaAllah. Okay. So I live my life according to saving the world, healing the world, the King of Kings. All right, Michael Joseph Jackson. Okay, that's the legacy I follow. MashaAllah, and because that's a legacy of peace, a legacy of divine love, a legacy of healing, a legacy of caring, okay, a legacy of life, a legacy of belief, a legacy of divinity, a legacy of purity, a legacy of Islam, and as I am, alhamdulillah, Muslim, as is he, MashaAllah. Okay, so so by giving that power to black power to him, right? It usurps not only black power but the power of the woman, right? All women, okay, and preparing and that aids him in preparing for his takeover of all humanity, right? And that's why setting him up for the throne, okay? Now, and that's why she was the one who, when he was for his what was that when they put into office, she was there, okay, okay, because of what she represents for them. Okay, okay, so the Baphomet clearly reflects the upside down pentagon, which is to represent the female out of her mind, The woman is to represent the star wormwood. As we said, it's to represent that star wormwood, right? That's going to fall to the earth, right? Because Babylon fell, so the star got to fall, right? It's going to fall, it's going to crash, and when it crashes, it's going to crash with such ferocity because it's going to be traveling at such a high speed, right? It's going to crash into the earth, it's going to shake the earth, and all the water is going to rise from its bed. It's going to rise from its foundation, right? And those who are not secured themselves, are not walking in their right mind, all that energy is going to usurp their mind. They're not going to have a mind. They're going to be walking like zombies because they're not going to have a mind. They're not going to have a mind to understand anything. Therefore, the FID chip will be necessary for them, right? Okay. And the flood on the land will destroy most of life, a great deal of life, right? So you better be prepared. You think I might be thinking, oh, I'm sitting here wasting my time talking this, and you don't believe it. Well, if you don't believe it, that's okay. That's just okay. You better be prepared then. Like Noah's son, who said he'd go to the top of the mountain and he'd be protected against the flood. Okay, he went to that top of the mountain, and guess what he found at the top of that mountain when he got there? The water was going to be up his nose. Okay, it was going to be up his nose, down his throat, and in his lung, and he's going to be floating belly up. And he floating, and he was going to be, floating belly up, right? Okay. Okay, so you better be prepared. Okay? Now, so as I said, but clearly represents the upside down and the woman out of her mind, and it represents wormwood, and that's the one that's going to fall from the sky. Okay, that upside down pentagon that represents the Baphomet. That's the one that's going to fall, and it's already fallen. Baphomet is falling. Okay, now the star will fall. Okay, and that will be that spaceship coming in, right, and hitting the ground. Okay, y'all better be prepared. Get your seeds ready and everything so you can grow fruit. I would recommend start growing those fruits. So your seeds now, you can start growing them in little bitty containers. Okay, so they can be portable. You can transport them. You know, that's what I would recommend. Even like grains and all that stuff. Okay, because it will almost be like the world is starting all over again. Okay? Because it's going to be cleansed too. I mean, if the celestial sphere was cleansed by the archangel Michael and the other soldiers, angels, you know, the earth is going to be cleansed too. Okay, and those who have that demonic spirit, I mean, those who didn't purge their spirit, right, are going to be when that ship comes in, when that star wormwood falls, that vessel, right, it falls. What's going to happen, right? It's going to take their mind away. They're going to be like zombies, right? So their mind will be purged too. Okay. Better get yourself together. Okay. Okay, so that's the one that's going to fall. All the waters are going to rise from its bed, right? 1/3 of the earth is said. Okay, I'm not going to go against that. That's what the Bible says. That's what I'm going to say. 1/3, because don't have measurements beyond that. Okay. Okay. So, but that's a lot of water. Okay. Now. So, and that's when, because of the chaos, the beast will think, that will be an opportunity for him to take control, because the world being so much chaos, right? People want to follow him. They'll be starving, they'll be hungry, they'll be scared, they'll not know what to do. So they'll follow him, right? Okay. But you won't have to if you got your stuff together. And those will be the ones who follow him, will be the ones who try to lead against the war against the prophet born of a virgin. Okay? But if you're smart, you'll know him when that beast when you see him, because he'll have written between his head. He'll have what? Kaphir written between his eyes. And if you're a believer, you'll be able to read that. It'll be a dot, the spot between his forehead, between his eyes, right? And he'll have one eye, but you won't see that one eye, because with cosmetic surgery, that'll probably be, you won't know that, okay? But he'll have one good eye, one bad eye. Probably the right eye will be bad, the left eye will be good, okay? Now, will be sightable. It won't be good, but he will see something, right? I'll say, because he'll be representing what? That constellation Agul, right? With the blinking eye. The blinking star system that it rotates. I think it was binary star system. One rotates around the other, and it causes every 2 hours, 2 days, every 2.8 days, it rotates around the other one. So it blinks. It blinks. I put a video of that. So it blinks, and it represents the one eye. A ghoul is supposed to be they call it the demon star, and it's very, very the demon, because it has so much power. Because nothing Allah creates is demonic, right? It's nothing bad. Okay, even the outcast spirit, the one they call Iblis, was good before he got jealous. He got filled with jealousy, right? So nothing Allah creates is bad. So that star is not bad. It just has power, and every time it's blocked from the earth, it blinks. So that's why he represents that very powerful star, right? System. That's why he has one eye, right? Okay, so that's why it's a ghoul, right? And it's across from Mars, right? And so that's why they say Mars is violent, and Mars is a warrior, because it represents that the power of a ghoul. Okay, because they're not telling you the true structure of the universe, how it's structured, because then you'll know how its power represents and how to do certain things at certain times, how to live your life in harmony with the universe. And being in harmony with the universe, you're going to have power. They don't want you to do that. So they shorten their time but extended their time by not telling you the truth, how time is structured in the universe. It's not structured the way you think. You have more time than you think. But they short your time to control you, okay? The seasons aren't even represented in a true time, okay? So all that is misrepresented to control you. I got to go to video 6. Assalamu alaikum.